Good afternoon, council members, and I have trouble saying this with a straight face, Mr. Couch, but Chair Couch. I'm sure you've heard it before.
Yes, thank you.
It's a pleasure to appear before you today, and it's a pleasure to see citizens turn out on an issue that's important to everyone. And so I hope that we can all enlighten each other and move forward. I'm Ghean, and I now live in a neighborhood. I lived in a condominium hotel for the first 9 years I lived on Maui. And I can tell you it's a whole different experience than living in a neighborhood. And I'm sure you're not surprised at that. But I could engage you with stories that would fill books and probably embarrass me to tell some of them. But we had 24-hour security service, and you were constantly chasing after the problem. You could never get in front of the problem with short-term guests, no matter how hard you tried, no matter how tough your house rules were. So I must tell you, living in a neighborhood is different. As you know your neighbors, you know your neighbors' children, and you look out for each other. When you're on vacation, you say, I'm going to be leaving, kind of watch my house, will you? Those things are what neighborhoods are for. That's what we expect when we buy in a neighborhood with residences. This short-term vacation rental bill that we're talking about today, frankly, makes me feel a little like Alice through the looking glass. Solid tax-paying neighborhoods have been put on the defensive because of this ordinance, while those who are conducting illegal businesses have no fear of zoning laws being enforced and fines being levied for their illegal activity. No, lawbreakers are here working hand in hand with the council. This is like the purse snatcher writing ordinances that allow purse snatching, but only on certain areas. This committee is grinding over words designed to convince people that something is really being done, and that when all this is happening, while all that's happening is that purse snatching is being made legal, but just in certain areas. The whole concept of neighborhoods having to prove a negative, we don't want commercial businesses in our neighborhoods, is upside down. The leverage should be in the hands of the people in the neighborhoods, not in the hands of the illegal businesses hoping to whitewash their conduct with this ordinance. Those who want to establish a short-term vacation rental should be required to get the approval of their homeowners association, and where none exists, get the written approval of every adjacent neighbor. Let me not leave without pointing out the elephant in the living room. The failure of enforcement, hiding behind the excuse of being unable to do it. Frankly, I don't buy that excuse. If the council received continuing complaints about poor water quality or leaking sewage and nothing was being done, those directors would be called before you to explain themselves.
1 minute.
When was the last time the planning director was called before you to explain why illegal businesses were not being fined? Those directors take an oath to uphold the Maui County laws. When they don't, the citizens elected you to make sure they do their job. I urge this committee to spend their valuable time finding a way to enforce the current zoning laws and protect the people who trust you to enforce them. Thank you.